going on, guys? Going back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash that just released like a week ago, and I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and reviewing the game for you. My Suicide Squad game video will come out soon, don't worry. I haven't really played it yet because I've been playing Cursed Clash because it came out a day earlier, and I have some thoughts on it, so we're just going to get through that in this video. We're going to talk about gameplay and like the online and stuff, and we're going to talk about story mode and give you my general opinion on the game itself. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the overall gameplay has some pros and some cons. My favorite part of the game probably overall is that every character is very different, you know what I mean? Like, you could be playing a character like Inumaki who hurts himself when he uses his first attacks, and then you could be playing somebody like, what's his name? The guy with the Megami, I can't believe I forgot that. Megami, and he's using different animals which change up his combos, and you could be, there's so much, and there's 16 characters, but each character feels very, very different, and I think that's something that anime games as a whole lack, is that, there's a lot of characters, but the characters stay mostly the same. I'm talking about the Storm series here for the most part. I feel like there's not too much differentiating between the characters. This is also a very different anime game in general, in that your attacks don't just do damage every time, but we'll talk about that later. I also like how it's pretty simple, but it's fun, you know what I mean? Like, any skill level, if you're casual, competitive, anywhere in between, anywhere outside of those, I don't really think there's an outside between casual and competitive players, you will have fun just playing online in this game. I've been having a blast playing for like the few hours that I played this game online, but other than those two very good points, there's not much else that I think is really good about this game. First, the game is very buggy, and frame rate drops are really appear here more than ever. But Bandai Namco and just anime games in general just are known for not having the best netcode or whatever you want to say. The game is also very, very clunky. It's so clunky, man. It's really hard to play this. It's a really clunky fighting game, considering how not clunky an anime game needs to be, if that makes sense. It's also very floaty. Your your jumps are so weird. It kind of goes into clunkiness. It's very, very, very bad in terms of those two things. And yeah, and also what's the word? Okay, I forgot the word, but after you get hit and you get laid on the ground, I swear you're there for like 2 years, man. It takes so long to get up from the ground, and those three things make the game really hard to play. And also, stages suck, man. Like, the stages, because it's a 2v2 and it's very floaty, environments are very destructible, and there's also really high places, and it makes for this like kind of hit and run play style where you hit somebody and then you just run away to a higher building and then wait to attack them again. That also goes in with, getting back up and stuff. And bad camera. This is probably because it's a 2v2 game mode, and the camera angle just isn't the best, because you can't really be looking at two people with one camera angle. You have to be looking at one person, but then somebody can come behind you and just whack you in the face, and you get put in a combo, and you can't substitute out of this. This isn't Naruto Storm, but yeah, so those things make the game really not fun to play. But if you're just playing with a friend, or just trying it out for a few hours, or just playing a game or two, this game can be really fun. But when you take it seriously and you're playing for hours and hours and hours, it'll make this game, you'll get burnt out really fast. And it is annoying, the cursed energy, so you can only attack players and do damage to players who, when you are using a cursed energy hack or technique, whatever it's called, and that can make it annoying, because you land a bunch of huge hits on people, but you barely do any damage to them, and then somebody comes in with an awaken move, and or like 2/3 of your health is gone. It's really annoying to get one-shotted and then be doing a bajillion attacks and doing absolutely nothing. It can get really annoying. But outside of those things, I think the game can be fun, but those are some pretty big cons in my opinion. You know what else is a big con? The story mode. Let's get into that. So the story mode is my biggest gripe about this game, just because it's very, very boring, and it's horrible if you're playing and just casually playing. It's bad if you're competitively playing the story mode for some reason. It's not fun. There's very, very few cutscenes. I think there's three, and it's like 6 hours long. It's really bad. The cutscenes are there are honestly pretty good though. Like, don't get me wrong, those like two or three cutscenes, or three or four, whatever it is, are really cool and really fun to look at, and watch and whatever you want to say. But the entire thing else is a slideshow presentation, and it's kind of annoying. And I skipped through, I think, the entire thing after I realized it was a slideshow presentation and not just a bunch of cutscenes. I was hoping this was going to be the next Storm 4. I was really hoping that the game would have amazing looking cutscenes, and it doesn't even have to be all cutscenes. That's the thing. It's that there's more just talking, talking, talking than there is actual cutscenes, and I think they could either balance it out or just adding a few more cutscenes, like another hour of cutscenes would be pretty cool. Maybe even less than that, like another 45 minutes of cutscenes just to put in there, or probably that might be unrealistic, but you guys get what I'm saying. Um, so yeah, the story mode, very horrible. It doesn't add really anything to the game. It just makes the game worse. They could have done so much better. The Shibuya incident arc could redeem this. I highly doubt that it will. I think the Shibuya incident DLC is just, it's gonna be the same of this, but shorter and less compact, but they're gonna give it a $45 price tag, and that's another gripe with this game. It's $60, and you're paying for 6 hours of story and 16 characters, and I feel like there could have been a lot more characters. Mekamaru, 1010. I know she's controversial, but you know what I'm saying. There could have been so much more, especially Mekamaru. I am very sad they did not add Mekamaru to this. There's also some balance issues, but I feel like for the most part it's pretty okay. But Sukuna, he's broken. Apparently Nobara is broken. And so many characters are just broken. And then you got some characters like Inumaki, who I think are very underpowered and could definitely be better. It's not like he's horrible. And then you got Yuta over here, who's like kind of broken, but at the same time not really broken. It's all a mess. Everything about this game's roster is kind of a mess. But they're different characters. It's gonna happen, especially in like what's it been, a week. It's gonna happen. Balance patches are gonna come. DLC is gonna come. We're gonna get most of this fixed, except the story mode. I don't think the story mode's gonna get fixed, which is pretty disappointing to say the least. And I think this game has a lot of potential, but overall, right now, as it stands, is a very, very dull game that definitely should have been delayed a little bit just to get more development time, to make cutscenes, to add a few characters, to all do all that stuff, to give all the stuff that we are missing. And overall, I think that should give it a 5 out of 10. I think this game has massive potential, massive, massive, massive potential, but overall, this game just lacks a lot of content, or not really lacks content. I think overall it's pretty fun, but it's just dull and not really standing out in 3D arena fighters as a whole. And I think it could be better. It could definitely be better. Like, again, it has a lot of potential, but for now, the game is it's kind of bad. So I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I think that's fair. Anyways, that's been Donut. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to see more videos by me, subscribe. And without further ado, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.